we're looking at the book map right now, looking for this push up. I think we're going to push up because of kind of what's been showing up here on the book map. We got a lot of liquidity there at the 45s. So if we can hold that liquidity at the 45s, we're going to push up there above the 50s. And I think we're going to start pushing through here. We just need this liquidity to kind of follow us up there. We want to see this push up above the 52s next. We get a push above 52s and we go up to 55s. So I'm entering long. So I'm entering long right here based on what I'm seeing on the book map. Look for this push up there above the 55s next. So right now we're long 3 contracts looking for a push up into this level. And that would be pretty much right where the book map's telling me. When I see on the book map, we got all that liquidity here at the 52s. If we get above 52s, well, then I would be looking for this to then push up there 54, 55 level next, and we can ride this momentum higher. So I'm always kind of keeping an eye on the book map when I'm entering and trading and looking at these different opportunities. You can see over here the session volume profile. We know there's a lot of volume profile. A lot of volume has been traded at this 50 level. So that's telling me that there's a lot of action, a lot of buyers, and that's kind of like a support, right? It's creating a support level because we can see that there's a lot of volume right here in this level, that 50 level. So I'm getting long at 50, 75, looking for this to push up into the 55s. And if you look as we zoom out here, that peak on that level at the 50s, that next peak is up here at the 60s. So that's giving me an idea of like, okay, you know, we kind of push up here 57s up to the 60s, kind of being that next peak. After that, if you look even higher, there's not much going on above 60s. So, you know, the goal here is for this to push up over the 50 level. So the goal here is to get above this 52 resistance right there. That's kind of holding us down right now. That liquidity stacking up there at the 52s. If we can get above that, well, then I would look for this to move up 55. This market just kind of slowly grinding higher, trying to get above this. And that big liquidity level there at 52 is holding us down. You can see there's 156 contracts sitting there at 52 right now. And we're looking for this to push. So right now our support down there at the 46s. And we're looking for this to get above that area there at the 50s. There we go, getting that buyers coming in. That 52 level is right there. Can we push through 52 next? You see there's an Iceberg seller just popped up there. Those little Iceberg, the little blue dot lines, those are Iceberg orders. Those are basically orders that are getting filled there, but not on the book. So they're called an Iceberg order in the sense that we don't really know how many contracts they have sitting there at that level. I'm trying to push back up above the 50s. So I'm confident, I'm staying in the trade. I'm still long as we see what's going on with the book map. I'm always using that book map to kind of give me an idea of what's going on in terms of support. I can really kind of display the price, the action a little differently than just looking at level 2. You know, when you look at level 2, you're just getting these orders, you're getting numbers on there, and you're not really seeing the whole picture. When we look at the book map here, we see right now 52 still holding resistance there. We get above that 52, we got liquidity stacking up at the 54. So liquidity coming in there. They're adding liquidity right there at the 51s, trying to hold this down. Do you want to start trading futures? Are you looking for the easiest way to get into trading futures today? Well, check out Topstep. The cool thing about Topstep is you go through the Topstep program, you pay for the combine. Once you prove that you're profitable, you then get a funded account. You get 90% of your profits, and you risk a very small amount of capital because you're basically just paying for the combine. And then once you're into the funded account, you start trading and you start making some money. Let's get back into this live trade. Does it work out? Is the book map going to pay me today? Trying to push up here. 52 is coming up. You can see how that liquidity is changing now that we're pushing up there, kind of taking away liquidity, meaning that there's less sellers sitting there. There's less action at that level. So we're starting to move up now. We're getting some buyers coming in there. You see those colors kind of changing. It's a very visual representation of where that action's at, where that liquidity is, where the buyers and where the sellers are, where the action is. Remember, the market's moving to find these levels of liquidity. It's finding these levels, and that's why we're looking at this on the book map like this, because we can see kind of what's going on, painting this picture. Right now, that 54, 53 level acting as resistance there. Again, you got that liquidity stacking up there at 54. So can we get this push above the 54s next and get this to push up above 54 with my target up there at the 57s, maybe possibly higher if we get going above 55s. Over 55s, I mean, there's not much going on until about 60s. So you kind of gives me confidence that if we get that push over 55 here, we could start to squeeze up and get that nice move up there to the 60s next. And then, well, it'll all play out perfectly. 55 sitting there, that book map VWAP right there, the 55s. Moving my target up. I had it at 57. I'm gonna move it up to like 58s there. BookMap showing me strength right now. I'm trying to push through this level. We got a lot of green bubbles, 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 baby. Showing all that volume coming in there, trying to push above 55 now. This is all live in the moment, in the action. We're seeing this happening with the BookMap, with the action on the BookMap showing us where that liquidity is. So now our target really is at 60 level. So I'm gonna move, I got my target at 58.75 because of what we're seeing on the BookMap there. And some liquidity starting to come in there at the 55s now. That's what we want to see. We want to see that liquidity coming in there at 55. We get a push above this 55. We push up there to the 58s beautifully. And that'll be my profit target here, 58s or higher. So you can see how this 56 level right now is trying to give us some trouble there on the chart. If we go over here and look at the BookMap, you can see that 56 level sitting there right now. Now we got buyers coming in trying to take that out. If we can just get above that 56, we're going 58s. There we go, above 56 now, trying to push 57s. You can see some liquidity coming in there at the 57s. But what are we focused on here? Remember the session volume profile over here on the right. See how we had all that support down there at the 50s? That's where we were buying at. And now we're looking for this push up here. Can we get the move all the way to 58.75s for $1,000 in profit? Let's go. Trying to get that push above the 58s here. And getting filled beautifully. And you can see here on the BookMap right now, just that push up there to that 60 level. That's exactly what we were looking for. That was our plan. Remember, before this even happened, we had that planned out. What do we have? We had the session volume profile giving us pretty good levels to know like, hey, I can get long at that 50 level, right? I'm looking here at the session volume profile. And I see there's a lot of liquidity there at the 50s, a lot of action being traded at the 50s. So what do I know? I'm going to get long. I'm not going to get a short there unless we get below that. We were right there at that 50 level. So there's no reason for me to get short. You know, I'm looking for this to push up, and that's exactly what we got up there at the 60s. So we locked in over $1,000 in profit off of this one trade based off of the BookMap. I'm using the BookMap on every single trade. I'm telling you guys, this is a indispensable tool, and it's something that you definitely want to learn more about. If you're on the fence, you haven't already checked it out, definitely check out the BookMap. I'll put a link down below if you guys want to get a little preview of it, check it out, and all that fun stuff. You can use the data from your broker. If you have rhythmic data with your broker, you can use that for BookMap as well. For me, the settings on BookMap are very simple, nothing too crazy, you know, just very simple. Looking at the levels. I'm looking at these levels of liquidity to see kind of where we're at, what's going on. You can see right now we're actually pulling back. We pulled back after hitting that 59 level, which was right where we were looking at there on the BookMap, that liquidity. And you can see, you know, that 59 level, 60. We pushed up there, we pulled back, and now we're kind of bouncing again at 56. So BookMap kind of giving me an overall idea of what is going on with liquidity. And it just takes time. You just got to kind of learn and to see. It just takes time kind of watching it, reading it, and seeing what's going on with the BookMap throughout the day, and just keeping an eye on it as the action is unfolding. So there it is, trading with the BookMap, making $1,000 on that one trade right here live with you guys. And yep, there it is. Peace.